Welcome to the Choice, Change and Action podcast, where you get to choose, change and take action to create a different today and a different future. These are my stories of choice, change and action, along with the phenomenal guests I have on here. From a really young age, I've always desired to create a change in the world. The planet has been a constant inspiration to me, and Access Consciousness has shown me the tools to know that anything is possible. And I keep choosing. What are you going to choose? Welcome to Choice, Change and Action podcast. So today is a little different. I was on a friend of mine's membership not long ago. Her name is Nicolette. She's from Hungary. She was actually on my podcast and it was amazing. I think it was like 1 or 2 weeks ago. So if you haven't listened to it, listen to it. Do you like pep talks? If you don't like pep talks, bad luck, because what this next part is more like a pep talk. It's a lot of you know the Access Consciousness tools, but here's my question. Do you use them? You got to use them to make them work. So anyway, I talk about actually taking action, because one of the things I did was I put aside in my calendar 3 months. 3 months I committed to myself that I would start using the Access Consciousness tools in regards to money to see if something changed in my finances. So I committed to 3 months. I literally, at the end of 3 months, I thought, if it's not working, I don't need to continue doing this. But guess what? I have not stopped because it works. So if you haven't already, if you're on YouTube, you can see this. I'm holding up my book, Getting Out of Debt Joyfully, which I wrote quite a few years ago because I created myself to be a financial mess. And then I used the Access tools and changed it. So please enjoy this excerpt from this membership talking about how to actually take some action. A little pep talk for you. And on the 1st of February, Australia time zone, I have my 10-week Getting Out of Debt Joyfully class. So I would love you to join me. It's 10 weeks. You get a call with me each week and you get some home play and there's a whole bunch of stuff. But here's the thing. You've got to use the tools, okay? It's not about me coming in and, bumping up your bank account. It's like, no, you need to use the tools to change your financial reality. One question I would ask every day, if you were choosing your financial reality, what would you choose? What would you choose? So please enjoy. I literally wrote on my calendar. I had a calendar on the wall and I set myself 3 months. 3 months. I was going to carry an amount of money perceived a wealthy person would carry. I was going to do this goddamn 10% account. And I was going to pock and pod everything that came up for me about money and see where I was at in 3 months. And after 3 months, I made a date with myself and I sat in my office and I looked at my accounts. And there's a whole lot of other tools I used as well, like in starting to pay people off and choose different things and take some action. So I started to look at this after 3 months and I realized it wasn't like I had this huge amount of money, but I had money in my account. I had money on me. I had this 10% account and I asked myself what's changed. And it was like, the energy of money has changed for me. My point of view around money has changed for me. Mm-hmm. And my point of view around money changes all the time because I notice now. So that's the long story. Short story, I actually got out of debt. I have money. I have a really good amount of money. I invest a lot. I have wealth creation. And I've also noticed that there's a time in the last year or two where I become complacent again. And, and then I was talking to someone the other day and I was asking for more. And they were like, said something like implying this greed. And I was like, it's not from greed. You're allowed to ask for more. You're allowed to ask for more of everything. If I'm asking for more, and the majority of my money shows up from Access, then it's like, hello, is the world functioning more at a place of consciousness and awareness of what I would like? Yes. Okay, let's go. Then I'll receive more. And I do receive, I have, like I said, I have real estate investments and I have 3 stock portfolios and different things, antiques that I sell and jewelry and stuff like that as well. So there's a lot of different things that I'm involved in and different businesses I'm involved in. And it's like, what if you're allowed to ask for more? So how many of you have been resisting asking for more? And everything at that is times a godzillion because you've decided you'd be so bad, terrible, awful, and evil We destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad. Pock and pot all nine. Shorts, boys, provids, and beyonds. Damn. That's a lot of energy on that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so your home play that I would like to give you is every single day when you wake up, if you can, like put your hands on your body somewhere when you're still in bed, right? And just be like, hey, body, because your body's amazing. And it's like, you can ask for all the money in the world and a successful business and a great relationship. But if this thing isn't with you and in happy, none of that's relevant. Okay. So put your hands on your body somewhere and just ask, what would it take for today to be greater than yesterday?
Mm.
What more can we ask for? What more can we receive today? No matter what it takes and no matter what it looks like. And what more commitment can you be to yourself today so that you have all of you? And everything at that is times a godzillion, we destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine, shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds.
What I like about this conversation is that you're putting into words everything I'm kind of talking about every single day in my short recordings, because the membership is based on recordings every day, and it's been like 3 years now. So we're going to be celebrating 3 years. So I'm committed to create a recording every single day, so I don't have a day off. I don't need one, but yeah. And it's just like people could tell you. One thing is like, I'm really grateful, guys, that you can receive this information. This is amazing. Like it's awesome how you talk and then people just receive everything you say. And it's just so amazing. It's like everything I'm saying, everything I'm trying to show in the past 3 years, you just put into words and give them in like 40 minutes. It's wow. And so we really talk a lot about more, asking for more. Don't stop, just go for more, ask for more. And all these tools you're sharing, it's awesome. I really wanted to share with you. So I did not have money. And a couple of years ago, before COVID, you left Budapest after your COP. I went on every single Zoom you did, and I had no money, but you had a bunch of free Zooms. I just opened my Dropbox just for the free stuff you did. The GCF course, when you invited everyone to share one tool. That call, I listened basically 100 times, and during COVID, I made 600% growth. And I got to the point where I could make $100,000 a month here in Hungary.
Wow.
Just by listening to that one call. Like I was applying every single tool. And then you did, is your life big enough? Creating something from nothing, changing tracks, breathing life into your business. Keep choosing, keep creating. No more than, I can't remember what was the name. What idea do you have? What is truly matter to you? All of them I was on and I was listening to them. I wrote down every single tools you gave and I was applying to my life, and everything has changed. Like everything has changed for me. And I read your books many times and all your stories, and just like the energy you're being, it's crazy. Like if you could talk Hungarian or speak Hungarian, you would see all these comments. Is like, oh my God, I'm so grateful. This is amazing. Like all of this I don't have the words, but I don't have to have it. You might feel it. And just the way you can share those tools, and it's just simple, and we feel like, oh my God, she could do that. I can do that too. Like, yeah, that's so easy. It's not supposed to be so hard. And just like by committing, as you said, it's a game changer when you commit to your life, and just commit to one tool or two tools or three or whatever, and use them. And it's like one of the greatest examples I heard for a long time. And thank you, Simone, for being here. It's like, wow.
But you're welcome. And I want to say though, Nicolette, I mean, yes, you listen to my calls and they're access consciousness tools, right? But you just said you wrote down every single one of them and you use them. That's the key. Like, you can listen to this and you can feel good and walk away and be like, damn, that was fun. Or you can actually listen to it and start using the tools and take the action. And I cannot tell you how much, if there is anything I've been talking about or anyone else that you're resisting, choose it. Just leap right in. Because if you leap right in, you'll change everything. And it's like, you know, I am persistent and I am stubborn and I am a control freak and I am a righteousness queen and I am all of that and more. So I did it with hands on hips, petulant. I'm not choosing that. I'm not doing that. And I was like, wow, who am I actually? Like, the only person I'm hurting with that is me. So it's like, don't be the stubborn person that you think is going to create something greater. There is so much more available, so much more available. And to me, I'm always like, what if this is just the beginning? Like, what if this is just the tip of the iceberg?
Yeah. I, I have one story about the amount of money that a wealthy person would carry with them. And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. That's just so stupid to me. And I was like, I need to change my money situations. And then you would kept talking about this, like every call. And then I took a business done different class with you. And then you still talking about that. I'm like, I can't believe this is a business class. I don't want to do this. And then at some point I was like, okay, fine. And I remember I was like, oh, but the wealthy person wouldn't carry money. They would have their credit card, right? And I was like, oh my God, I'm getting to be so stupid. I'm like, that's not the point. So then I decided, okay, I will have the money in my wallet with me. And then at some point I realized, so at the beginning I was like, I was looking for my purse all the time, where my purse is. And then after that, I was like, it became so natural to have all of that money in my wallet. And I was like, it's getting to be too much money, so I can't really close my wallet. And then at some point I heard you talking about, hey, when the tool did the work, you don't really have to carry the money anymore. And I was like, oh, I became that person who doesn't care about, I don't know, 1 million forint or something that she will lose, or, it doesn't. And that was a point when I realized, oh my God, things changed for me. Yeah. Okay, I can ask for more from here.
Yeah, I had a similar story in the sense of, like I said, I didn't carry it in my purse. I had a separate purse because I was like too paranoid that I was going to spend it or something. So I had it in its own little separate place. And then there was one stage I realized I pretty much always have $1,000 in my purse. And I was like, oh my God, I've become a wealthy person. Because that was my point of view. It's just a point of view, right? And your point of view is one of your greatest potencies. Because if you have a point of view that you have no money, you'll create it. If you have a point of view that money is easy, you'll create it, right? So my point of view was $1,000 is what a wealthy person has. And then I realized, oh, wow, I have that on me all the time. I've just become a wealthy person and stepped into that. So it was really cool acknowledgement for myself that I used the tools, I took the action, I created that, and I created a different future, a different reality. And all of us can create different reality. Like every day I'm like, well, what new reality is available for me today? I don't have this right at all. I keep going and I keep going, and I keep going and I keep going. And sometimes it gets so uncomfortable. But when it gets really uncomfortable is a lot of the times that resistance energy shows up. And I'm like, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not resisting that anymore. I'm going to walk into this and I'm going to change everything that's not allowing me to have all of me.
Wow. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. I got to this point with all of these tools. And even now, I used to do my 10% account, and I was self-employed at the beginning. And I put every single money that came into my business and to my life, put into one account. And then at some point, I had 3 businesses, and then I would put all the money there. And I realized I don't have any money left in my personal life, because all the money that comes into my business, I can't take the money out, but I still put the 10% from my own money to that account. And the money just growth, and about jewelries and a nice watch, blah, blah, blah. And then at some point I was like, my business makes so much money that I have to change the setup. So what I did, I was like, okay, I put 10% for my business. So I opened another account, an honoring of account in my business account. And then I have a separate account for myself. And so every money that comes into my private life, I put in that account. And then the other part in my business, I put there and I was like, no. And at the beginning, I was like, oh, I don't have enough money to put the 10%. Because all the money comes into my business. I was like, oh, that's not true. I actually have more money coming in and I just have to change the setup. So now less money, of course, less money goes into my 10%, but I was like, what would it take to put the same amount of money to my personal 10% account than to my business? So it's just like, it's so cool to play with these tools.
And that's exactly what you do get to do, is play with it. Like, I know I have a Business Done Different class coming up at the end of January. And I also have a Getting Out of Debt Joyfully class, 10-week class starting on the 1st of February. And I mean, I don't know, it sounds funny, but there are two of my favorite topics, but I love facilitating all access classes. But you get to, because when you have no money or you have this debt, etc., right, then you create one reality. But then when you actually start creating money and then you have a business, it's like, oof, how do I play now? Like, I'm playing with different things now that I didn't know about yesterday or last year. And it's like, but you're always in question of like, okay, now what else is possible? So then the structure of how you set your business up, the systems that you have in place, and it's like how it works for you and how it works for the business and how you can be creative with it. Creative accounting is one of my favorite things. So, and I just want to say one thing, because with the 10% account, a lot of people say, oh, can I spend it on XYZ? The only time I've ever spent my 10% on anything, like I borrowed from it, but it was the first thing that I paid back. And you are the only person who knows if you're going to be honest with that and choose that. I highly recommend don't borrowing from it if you can help it. But I have done that about twice. But I made the demand. That is the first thing that I pay back. And I did. Okay. The second thing is with the 10% account is everybody has a certain amount of money that when they have in their bank account or wherever you have it, it creates a different energy for you, a different reality. And for me, I remember it was about 30,000 Australian dollars. And I was like, oh, there's a different sense of peace here. So, and then, you know, I spent a little bit of it on gold, and I used to buy ounce of gold, etc., or silver coins or something that had intrinsic value. And then I would have that in my safe. And it's like, that's really fun to open up, you know, and have a look at the gold you have or the silver that you have. Or at one stage I had a big block of silver that I used as a door stopper on my bedroom door. And people would go, it's 5 kilos. And they go, is that silver? I'm like, yep, 5 kilos of silver as a door stopper. It was like, that was fun, you know? And so you bring the joy into it, but don't go spending all you know, okay? You know, nobody else knows. You know, if you are lying to yourself about what's going to create something greater. Like I'm looking at a box because I got this box delivered today. I just brought $250,000 Australian dollars, which is about 170,000 pounds worth of jewelry when I was in London with my 10% account from it's Grima Jewelry, Andrew Grima Designs, Grima. They are amazing and beautiful. I don't know how to open the box up yet. It's the security thing, so I have to do that afterwards. But for me, spending $250,000 Australian dollars, my 10% account on this jewelry that I get to wear, that I get to have as my 10% account, that is an investment for a different, greater future. I mean, this guy has died. He's very famous. It's like the jewelry is only going to go up, and it's friggin' amazing, right? So it's like you get to actually choose to play with what you create. And trust me, I struggled to get an economy ticket on a plane from Australia to the US over and over again. Like I couldn't afford to fly there. And then when I did, you know, could get a flight and do that, then going to a class with Gary and Dane, it's like I would sleep on people's lounge room floors on a mattress because I definitely couldn't afford a hotel, right? I couldn't afford to go to a restaurant or any of that. So I've been there, done that. And I kept moving forward because I knew that this is what I desired, and I kept choosing and I kept choosing and I kept choosing and kept using the tools. And here I am today getting a box delivered with $250,000 worth of jewelry. So it's like, how does it get any better than this, right? You get to choose your reality. And right now, any of you that are going, oh my God, that's a ridiculous amount, or that's too much, or I could never do that. Remember what I said? Pock and pod your point of view. What if that's not your point of view? So everything that brought up for you, destroy, uncreate it, right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pod, all nine shorts, boys, perverts, and beyonds. Because if you resist something like that, you'll never be able to have it, right? And it's like, if you are willing to contribute to everything and everyone, you can receive from everything and everyone. So what can you be? What can you do? What can you create? And what can you generate that will contribute more consciousness to the world? And everything that is times the good selling, we destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine, shorts, boys, perverts, and beyonds. If you enjoyed this podcast, please make sure to hit the follow or subscribe button on your favorite listening platform to get notified of new episodes. We read all the reviews, so if there's any topic you would like to hear about, let us know. If you'd like to know more about the tools, information, and classes mentioned in the podcast, head on over to SimoneMilasas.com and follow me on Instagram at SimoneMilasas, or the podcast has its very own link on Instagram at Choice, Change, and Action. Don't forget, you can download the show notes. And lastly, have way too much fun today.